Hey, long time no see. So it's been a while since I've put out a video, um, and that's just because I've been reworking old systems. Uh, but I have decided that I'm gonna show some of that stuff in a video here, even though I've shown it before, just so that I can have a good history of my progress. If I stop putting out videos just because I've shown something before, then there's gonna be big gaps. Because I rework stuff a lot. But anyway, so this might look familiar. This is the fan out control that I've shown previously. I used to have a fan out control and a backpack button, but I found myself just clicking on the fan out to try to open it. So I got rid of the backpack button altogether and sort of joined them together. You can pick what item you have selected, and you can load it up with stuff from your inventory. And I have, the hotkeys for doing special actions, like you can double click to grab a whole bunch of them, or you can click and drag. um, you can shift click, um, and then when the thing's closed you can click and drag to change your selection, or you can use the mouse scroll wheel to change your selection, or you can even hold down the control key. So hopefully this should make it so that you can swap between stuff quickly. Um, so let's place a stone block. Now I have this really thick outline around the stone block, or around all the blocks, to indicate a change in elevation. So it should be real clear when you're coming up on something that changes elevation. Now I have the blocks are different this time than they were last time, and if you follow this channel at all, you know that the blocks are reworked pretty much every time I put out a new video. Uh, but what I wanted was, if I dig this block right here, you see it leaves a gap the size of one of the blocks. In the previous implementation, digging to the north would leave different size holes than digging east or west, and that really bothered me. So I've reworked it to look different here. These are actually drawn in a pretty interesting way. There's concave and convex textures at all the different corners, and to do this, I would have to have like a whole bunch of different combinations of these different textures. I can show you the dirt one here too. But I came up with a system to make it easier to maintain all these combinations. So for each block type, so I have stone and dirt here, I only have 3 textures. I actually calculated it. If you take every quadrant of each one of these blocks and you go through all the different possible combinations for how that quadrant can look, and then you add up all those combinations, it comes out to be something is like 81 combinations. And I didn't want to draw 81 different versions of stone block. I struggled enough to draw this one version. You can see it looks terrible. But so I want to show you that in just a second. Before I go there, I can show you the tools, and this is pretty similar to what has been before. Actually, in much older videos, I actually had the tools animating as you use them, and I plan on putting that back. But I'm reworking this stuff and trying to get the old systems back online one at a time. So you can see when I break a block, it sort of floats there. I need to add a little shadow to that floaty block. But yeah, so putting the thing back together slowly but surely. Okay, so let's head over to the sprite artist, and I can show you what I was talking about maintaining those combinations of blocks easier. Okay, so if we go into blocks, I'm almost done with ramps and a rework for roofing, but I didn't get that done in time to make this video, and I didn't want to delay the video anymore because I've already delayed it by however many months. But so these are the main templates for all the block types, and I have 3 different distinct colors that I use. And then what happens is, so let's see, let's take a look at dirt. So what it does is it looks at the colors on the template block, and then it sources from these 3 primary textures for dirt, and then it inserts the texture from these 3 onto the template to actually create the to create the final texture. So here it would take like this section here, and it would pull from one of those 3 dirt textures, and then this would come from another one, and then this top one here would come from the surface texture. So in that way I'm able to, and those same 3 colors are reused through each of these different versions here. So these are just the convex corners, and these are just the concave corners, and then surface is pretty simple. And then we have the north, south, east, west versions here. And then what it does when it goes to draw a block, it has those, it has these 5 textures, all except a dirt specific version of these 5 textures, and stone specific for these 5 textures. And then it goes through and it draws the block 1 quadrant at a time, and it picks a quadrant from one of these 5 textures for that particular block type. So that's a lot of confusing rambling, but the net effect is I can change just this 1 concave texture, and it will change the appearance on every single block type in the system. Or if I wanted to add a new block type, it would be as simple as adding 3 new textures, and these textures are really simple. So the blocks don't look great, and I maintain that maybe I'll figure out how to draw better for a final game. But for trying to use a really large set of placeholder art, this makes it so much easier to maintain, because I can come in here and easily make small modifications and have it propagate through the whole system now. So anyway, so that was that's my block combinations. Here, let me show you the sprite sheet real quick. So here's the sprite sheet. So for each block type, it creates, like I said, it creates 5 different versions. So for dirt, for example, here's the surface, the concave edges, the convex edges, east-south, or east-west, and then north-south. And then it does the same again for stone. So all these are they're pulled from the 5 template textures plus the 3 source textures for each block type. And then it puts them in the sprite sheet in memory, and then I have the option to export the sprite sheet when I'm in game. So yeah, next time probably gonna look at ramps and roofing. Okay, cool. Thanks for watching.